A group of international consumer goods companies have joined hands in combating plastic pollution in Africa. The Africa Plastics Recycling Alliance aims to keep the environment clean while creating millions of jobs on the continent. Hlonela Lupuwana caught up with one of its members in Kigali. Let's take a look.
Plastic pollution is a universal problem. It's even harder to deal with in most developing African economies. The United Nations estimates that 1 million plastic drinking bottles are purchased every minute, while up to 5 trillion single-use plastic bags are used worldwide every year. Most of that litter ends up in either a landfill or polluting the natural environment.
Some African nations like Rwanda and Kenya have opted to ban the use of plastic bags to help ease plastic pollution. But what about other African nations who simply can't afford the alternative?
Well, that's where these consumer goods companies come in. Diageo, Unilever, Coca-Cola, Nestle and Promasidor are cleaning up their own backyards. They've launched the Africa Plastics Recycling Alliance at the Africa CEO Forum recently held in Kigali. The alliance plans to tackle plastic waste across its African markets.
There's not a lot of recycling plants across Africa, and also there's not a lot of collection schemes. Outside South Africa, you'll hardly find a proper, efficient recycling model that is going on in any part of Africa. With that, what you find is that you find plastic waste in the gutters, polluting marine life.
The group is kickstarting its program in countries like Kenya, Ethiopia, Ghana, Nigeria and South Africa. It's an opportunity to create millions of jobs across the continent.
Those countries have massive scale. It's easy to put up a recycling plant, which will probably cost you around $25 million in those countries. Whilst we look for solutions for smaller countries, because we've spoken to a lot of investors who want to invest in plastic manufacturing plants, and they tell us that for smaller countries, they cannot generate enough waste to feed these recycling plants.
Opoku Asare stresses the importance of working with government leaders and investment partners to tackle plastic pollution.
We want to bring together investors and also encourage recycling in countries. But what is critical is the government piece here, because you need government policy to enable the recycling models that we want to build to work. We've seen projects going on in Kenya, where it's employing over 2,000 people within 18 months. And we're doing a pilot project in one city in Ghana called Kumasi, where we are using plastics to mix with mortar to make concrete blocks for building. And the project, if adopted by government, could create around 5 million jobs in Ghana.
On its path to a cleaner environment, the alliance hopes more African leaders as well as investors will use recycling as an economic tool for job creation. Hlonela Lupuwana, CGTN, Kigali.